guys, it's Kayla.
And Jim.
And welcome back to another Meteorology Monday. Do you like Hallmark movies? Do you like weather? Do we have a movie for you? Today we are doing a Meteorologist reacts to the TV movie Tornado! I say it like that because it has an exclamation point on the end. So I feel like I had to say it dramatically.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, that is what we are doing today. We have seen it, we have watched it, we have written down all of the notes.
It was suggested by one of our subscribers.
It was suggested by a couple of you guys.
Yeah.
So we went into this with very, very low explanations.
Expectations?
That
too. Very low explanations. Low bar.
But we actually ended up being pretty surprised.
Yeah. We'll save, we'll reserve our review at the end, but overall, you know, it did not, it exceeded expectations.
It did. Not that those expectations were high, but it exceeded them. Let's get into it.
All right, so we have a whole bunch of clips that we want to get through. Some of them are going to be short little snippets, some of them are going to be a little bit longer. This one we thought was worthy of throwing in this video because it just starts setting the bar for realism, accuracy. We'll go ahead and we'll play it, and then we'll talk about it right after.
Here we go.
Clip number 1.
Cloudy with a 40% chance of showers, high in the lower 70s, north wind 10 to 15 miles an hour. Night, cloudy with a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, and possibly severe with large hail and damaging winds, low in the lower 50s, and north wind at 10 to 15 miles an hour. On Friday, areas of rain and thunderstorms range at 100%.
Okay, so from that clip, we just needed to throw it in there. The weather radio.
They had a weather radio. It was saying weather things.
It was pretty accurate. It told of increasing clouds, increasing chance of rain, temperatures were bumped up a little bit, and then the rain comes in, and then the temperatures lower with decreasing clouds afterwards, so a front comes by. Number 1, the realism of, yeah, okay, it wasn't just some sort of strange thing, you know, they upped the percentage of chance of rain, 40% today, 60% tonight, 100% tomorrow, and then decreasing that night or the following day. It was very accurate. Worthy of being dropped into this video, not to mention multiple radios going all at the same time in different rooms.
Yes.
You know that is a house of meteorology right there.
Well done. All right, this next clip, we are getting into kind of twistery territory here. Now, this movie did come out 3 days before Twister. Same year, same everything, 3 days before. We have a weather instrument here. It is meant to be placed in the path of a tornado. It is time for you to meet Patty.
This is Patty.
Well, looks aren't everything. I'm sure she's got a terrific personality.
To be honest, the most difficult part was coming up with a name for her. Patty, P-A-T-T-I, stands for Portable Analyzer of Technical Tornado Information. Why don't we show them her brain?
Matt?
Bones.
All the monitoring devices are housed here in the control shell. You have your digital barometer, your celiometer, your electropotentiometer.
But check out the legs. They're made of titanium alloy, which allows for torsion from the winds but won't break. The bolt inside can be driven up to 2 feet into the ground, thereby allowing us to actually take readings from within the vortex.
So, what a novel idea. So that the tornado doesn't suck it up or knock it over.
I don't know what you could do to improve Patty. It's perfect. It's better than Dorothy.
Yeah, so with Twister, you had Dorothy, you know, which they just set out there and it got knocked over or had the potential of getting knocked over. But then this actually took it the step further and said, no, we're going to drive it into the ground so that it doesn't move.
Yeah.
Which was talk of the technology back then.
That's what was happening in the meteorology field at the time. Obviously, you know, Dorothy had those little things that were meant to be sucked up into the tornado and go around. No hate to Dorothy. We love Twister. We love Dorothy.
Had a different function.
They had different functions, but I mean, this is incredible. They didn't just make up some random thing. This is actually a real meteorological instrument that storm chasers would use to gather tornado research in the field.
That's right, as well as some of the instruments recording inside.
Yeah.
And as many of you have watched Storm Chasers, you've seen the TIV and how it would anchor itself. I mean, this is back in 1996, talking about that kind of technology, driving, you know,
stakes
something
into the ground.
staking into the ground so that it doesn't move off of its position. So, yeah, you know, it's so far, guys are doing good. Clip number 3 goes into a little bit more as to why they're doing what they're doing.
We're getting sciencey up in here.
So we've got the federal auditor coming in and looking at the program. She's the axe woman that's coming in, right? And is talking about the program, and she's like, tell me more about it. Why are we doing what we're doing? And here's the scene.
You know, Jake, as far as Washington's concerned, global warming is just a nasty rumor cooked up by grant-hungry scientists.
Well, that's fine, but take Antarctica, for example. This past January, the temperature actually rose above freezing. There were flowers growing on the ice shelf. Now, that's not a rumor. That's a fact.
Yes. Floods, droughts, earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, all getting more severe, more unpredictable, which is precisely why I invented PADDY. Early predictions means early warnings. Early warnings means lives saved.
What have you got to say about this one?
He understood the assignment. We put instruments into the field to get research data on tornadoes to make it so that we can predict these tornadoes more accurately, give earlier warning times, and ultimately save lives. What more can you ask for in a meteorologist portrayed on TV?
And why wouldn't you want to fund that?
That's a whole different thing.
We won't do a deep dive into the whole global warming and everything. Right now, we're just kind of focusing on just the, you know, why are we doing what we're doing?
Yeah.
Well, although global warming might be part of the driving factor to his research and why he's doing what he's doing, but basically it's, you know, we don't have a good warning system right now, even with the advances in technology. And if things are changing, we need to have things in place ahead of time.
Yep.
So that we can better predict and better forecast and better warn.
A+. Great reasoning.
Moving on to clip number 4, they're going to talk about, actually she asked the question specifically because they're in Texas at this point, why is Texas such a hot spot? And so our scientist, our meteorologist is going to come to the rescue and say, I'm going to paint you a picture as to why. Now, can you predict, being a TV movie, is he going to nail it or is he going to botch it? Is it going to be Hollywoodized or is he going to nail it?
Let's find out.
Good old US of A.
Accurate drawing. Well done.
Cold, dry air travels southeast from Canada.
Now, what happens is, it comes down across the Rockies here, where it picks up more cold air, and then it continues on unobstructed to the plains.
Now, this represents warm, moist air that travels north from the Gulf of Mexico, right around Brownsville here.
Once again, a straight, unobstructed path to the plains, right?
Yes, and when these two elements meet,
What happens is the cold, dry air from Canada rests directly on top of that warm, moist air from the Gulf.
yes, which leaves one final element.
Jet stream.
Bingo! And that is where our empirical knowledge of tornado formation ends.
So all in all,
Basically, we know Jack.
We know Jack.
Well said.
And 25 years later, we know more Jack.
Basically, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
But cold, dry air from Canada, the Rockies, warm, moist air from the Gulf, add in the jet stream.
Pretty accurate to us, huh? Thumbs up, Hallmark, you did it.
This next clip, we are going to be looking at some satellite imagery and see what these meteorologists have to say about it.
These satellite pictures outside of Denver look very promising.
Uh-huh.
The return moisture flow in the vertical shear picks up a few more knots. We could have the supercell dynamics we need.
Yeah, see, that sucker could bust a cap.
Yeah.
Okay, they said a lot of meteorology-y things. They were talking about vertical shear and moisture and busting the cap, which are all fancy meteorology terms that go into tornadoes being produced that day. Did they use it accurately?
I would say that was pretty accurate in terms of their depiction. If this comes here and if this happens and that happens, then, you know, we could be looking at supercells and so basically a lot of what other storm chasers and meteorologists out in the field and in the weather service offices, they'll start using that terminology. The ingredients are coming together. Is
The
basically
ingredients.
what we would say.
And they were just naming off some ingredients. So
There you go.
another thumbs up.
Pretty good. The next clip we're going to talk about about is their trip to the National Weather Service in Amarillo, Texas, which there is a National Weather Service there.
Yes, there is.
Good job. They're actually going to take a picture of the front of it and go inside to what looks like, really, the National Weather Service on the inside of 1996. So, you know, they did a pretty good job with this.
Well done. Here we go.
When we're fully online, we'll be connected with every Weather Service regional office in the country, as well as NCAR and NOAA and SPC, digital obs, satellite scanning, the whole bit.
Pretty soon we won't have to rely on the office in Oklahoma to guide our predictions. We'll have Texas predictions for Texas weather on the spot.
Well, what about chasers?
Oh, they'll be chasing their own tails. Totally obsolete.
Well, that's not really the case. Take the Twister and Adrian. Doppler detected the storm coming, had the hour on the nose. They called it for 3:30 p.m. exactly.
That's incredible.
Well, the only problem is they had it 3 counties away in Parmer, so I mean, the warning box was off by 75 miles.
As I was about to say, we'll always rely on spotters and chasers. That's the human factor.
And that's the human factor.
That is why you can never replace human meteorologists with computers. That is a big talk in the meteorology field. Oh, we can just, you know, automate everything and computers can take over completely. Nope. You always need a human behind it. You will always need storm chasers. You will always need human forecasters. Computers are not as good as people.
They did a study, National Weather Service did a study a long time ago called the Man-Machine Mix. And they did forecasting where the forecaster was just a human forecaster making a forecast. It was just the computer making a forecast. And they did a combination of the person using the computer to make a forecast. And they found that the person using the computer always made the best forecast. Or was very consistent on beating the other two. So you got to have both. One of the other things, you know, props to them, they pushed out there the other major players, SPC, you know, NCAR, you know, all those guys.
I don't think I've ever seen NCAR be mentioned in
anything.
I mean, like
or they give it some sort of ridiculous title. Like.
Yeah, or like the NSSL or something like that. They always come up with these incredibly ridiculous names, but they actually kept it here. That's not a name that everybody would recognize, like NOAA or the NWS, but they put it in the movie anyways.
That's right.
For those of us who know meteorology, I mean, that's like a wonderful little Easter egg there. They didn't have to do that. It didn't add anything to the story, but they put it in there anyways because NCAR is one of the players.
That's right. And the thing is that they're showing that there is collaboration between agencies. And so it was just nice to see that little clip to just show, hey, they didn't even drop that. They didn't make it up. They put something legit.
Yeah.
Next clip we're going to show is when they start talking about the F scale. Again, it's 1996, so before the enhanced Fujita scale. And he talks about an F1, F2, etc., gives a little bit of description. And they actually throw in more Easter eggs, right? So they give us some pictures to go with it.
Yes!
I think most of them are pretty accurate, but we'll take a look at these and let us know your opinion.
It's an actual tornado in a tornado movie.
I've been editing this footage. It's from my own private collection. The Fujita wind damage scale rates the storm's power from an F1 to an F5.
Wind damage scale.
This is
legit.
An F1.
Looks like an F1.
An F2. F3. Jacob shot this actually.
I like how he threw.
F4.
That one was in Kansas.
And finally, wind speeds over 300 miles per hour. Cuts a path sometimes over a mile wide.
Is that the Oklahoma tornado?
This would be before 96.
It
looks familiar, but I don't recall exactly which one it is.
I want to say there was an Oklahoma one, 91, wasn't there? I don't know.
I know there was some in April of 91 in Kansas.
Kansas, maybe I'm getting that confused. That might be the one before it.
Oh, that one, I think, I've seen that one in the 80s, so I think that one's a little older.
No, I've seen this one. I
but
don't
that
know
one,
where.
yeah, definitely looks familiar.
Let me know in the comments which one it is if you guys know, because I've seen this footage, I don't remember which one it is.
So his depiction of the F scale and the terminology around it, and them even throwing in tornadoes that are pretty close, plus or minus an F maybe, but definitely, you know, hey guys, great job on this.
And now we're moving into the part of the movie that every Hollywood production has to move into at some point. You know it.
Why?
You know it couldn't have lasted this good for long, right? So we're just gonna play the next clip.
You had 20 minutes left.
There was 20 minutes.
You
left
had 20 minutes left.
You just.
Why?
They should have ended it. So here's the last 20 minutes. So we're gonna show some clips. Clip number 1 of the last 20 minutes. We're in the field. We're chasing a tornado. We're about to deploy. Patty.
Followed by brief calm that's already behind us. And there's hail and strong winds, 54 hits.
Describing what it should look like if there's gonna be a tornado.
So far so good.
So far so good. The hat blew off. It's windy.
The hat blew off in the right direction.
Good.
According to which way the wind is blowing.
Good. And then,
Breaking up.
what is that?
Save your ammo, Doctor. False alarm.
Wait. Oh, the data point here. Hey, we're looking at F2, F3s at least.
Doc, this thing just ain't gonna happen.
F2s or F3s at least we're going to have today. There was, it was storming, it was and then we're just showing a time lapse of clouds dissipating.
And then it just evaporated.
The storm just evaporates.
Now-
We set up all this stuff, all the ingredients were coming together to form cumulus clouds disappearing!
That cold, dry air from Canada must have really infiltrated the storm and just
The
made it-
Gulf just left. It's like, warm air to Texas? Nope, we're gonna take that back. We've got a hurricane that needs it.
So it was kind of going there, and I guess maybe this was showing more of the realistic, hey, storm chasers wind up busting, but
Which happens, that's good to depict as well.
that could have been depicted a little bit better, but we feel you, Hollywood.
Okay.
Let's take a look at another clip.
Let's keep going.
Andy, honey, do you see what I see?
Back in the NWS.
Strong flow off the Gulf. Do we have anything new from SPC?
Not since 10.
Take a look at that. You know, just to be safe, we better get them to issue a risk for severe from Milburn to Dalhart.
Get them to issue a risk. Now, there is collaboration, and their warning coordination meteorologist would probably pick up the phone, say, hey guys, we haven't heard from you, what's going on? And then SPC would respond accordingly if they haven't done so already. And usually, if you haven't gotten any response from SPC, it's probably because they're still in the meeting trying to decide where to put the box, if we're putting a box.
Where are we drawing a box, guys? A call from Amarillo is not going to get SPC to do anything.
SPC is the one who owns making the box. Each NWS office has the authority to issue warnings for their county warning area. The box is just a means to say, here's where the ingredients are coming together the best. Keep an eye out for this over the next few hours as things come together. The warnings come out as they see fit from the individual NWS offices. So they don't need SPC's anything at this point.
No, but the confusion comes from Amarillo, who is forecasting for the Amarillo area, is saying that SPC needs to issue warnings from Milburn to Dalhart.
Or at least a watch.
Or a watch or
box.
something. They need to put out some sort of thing. Milburn, Oklahoma.
Yeah, we did a little research on that one.
Halfway between the Oklahoma NWS and the Dallas-Fort Worth NWS.
Oklahoma City, Dallas.
Milburn in the middle. Amarillo west by twice the distance. Why does Amarillo care about two other NWS's forecast areas? If it's, SPC is in the Norman, Oklahoma, OKC forecast area. If anything, the Norman office is talking to SPC because that's in their territory. I don't think a call from Amarillo about an Oklahoma area is going to do much when there's already two offices in the same building talking about that area.
They'll take Amarillo's advice or input, but it's not.
Texas.
I could see Amarillo being more, hey, let's talk to Oklahoma City and Dallas-Fort Worth because our county warning areas butt up against each other, and so we want to make sure we have a seamless flow from our forecasting from one section to another. Hey, what are you guys going for, so that we make sure that we're all kind of in the same flow.
Right.
But Amarillo can't twist SPC's back and say, hey, put out a box.
And I'm just continuing on with the ridiculous that was started 2 clips ago.
Why not continue it?
Why not?
Ma'am.
Jake, you on this critter? We had it targeted way west.
Yeah, I'm on it. We're maybe 5 miles south of Milburn off 385 north. The core is maybe 2 miles due north of here, about 30 miles an hour.
Okay, I'm getting that down. Now listen, Jake. We need to issue a warning stat. Give me your best shot. Where's it going?
Now they just painted them as bumbling fools again. We have no idea where it came from and where it's going.
It's gonna be a right turn.
It's not what the NWS Amarillo would be doing.
And this storm chaser,
Gotta get confirmation from north of Milburn ASAP, okay?
just looking at the storm with no radar, said that this thing's gonna be a right turner.
Yeah.
The tornado's not even on the ground. They're chasing a rain cloud at the moment.
Like we said, it started out so good. It was very promising.
Now it's just everybody's a fool. Here we go.
Here we go.
We have now made it
How would you call it, Jake?
to the space.
4?
That one is at least a 4.
We are watching
maybe
this
even a 5.
on F4 or an F5 just by looking at it.
It's out in the field, and you can predict that it's a 4 or a 5.
Bad CGI.
It's a right turn.
It's a right turner. From a certain point of view.
It's turning back.
Now it's a right turner from a different point of view.
No. It's headed straight for Roseville.
It's Greensburg, Kansas all over again!
Oh.
Turning that way.
They were using
It's
good
not-
footage, actual footage earlier, and now
Now all
they
of a
just went to
sudden,
CGI. It doesn't even look
It
realistic.
doesn't. It's not.
And then they start throwing in, okay, now it's doing this and behaving erratically and doing all these kind of things.
Right turning from which point of view? Because now it turned the other way, so maybe it's right turning from a different point of view now. What? We should move on. And then here's this part.
You see this line? This is the second wave of a jet stream which has been building steadily.
Second wave of the jet stream.
Second wave of a jet stream. What the heck does that mean?
Have you ever heard in your meteorology classes of a second wave of a jet stream?
I haven't heard of a first wave of a jet stream.
Jet stream is usually pretty continuous. Usually
They don't
isn't
come in waves. It's a jet stream. It's a stream.
Now there could be
stream.
short waves embedded in the long wave flow.
But that has nothing to do with.
But they're talking about the jet stream.
Right, that's a short wave is a short wave. It's not the jet stream. The jet stream is the current of air that goes around the Earth. You ain't changing the jet stream. And the jet stream isn't waving at nobody.
There is a different 2-second phase of it. It's.
I don't
keep going.
Okay.
Take a look.
Back at NWS. Looking at the radar.
NWS Amarillo shows Northern Illinois.
That's Chicago and Quad City.
Guys.
I know Amarillo has gotten storms that they could have taken radar images of. Why did we use the Chicago radar?
Guys.
It's
You
just
built our hopes up so high.
an hour of wonderful for 20 minutes of this. Continuing on. Okay, now we're in the tornado. The tornado is hitting us. We're holding on to Patty. Our hands are slipping. She's being blown away because tornado movie.
His hair's not even moving.
A curious thing happens. All of a sudden, it's fine. It's fine. Why could it be fine? There's a tornado happening. Because they did the unthinkable.
We're inside.
We're inside it.
Guys, why did you let us down?
And that's it. And then the movie ends. Ta-da! Happy Hallmark ending. The guy gets the girl, and there's an eye of a tornado. So, I mean, tornadoes can have a center to them where the winds are significantly less. We talked about that in our Greensburg, Kansas tornado case study, but they don't look like that.
Why, guys? You did so good.
This was going to be my new favorite
For an hour and 10 minutes. And
weather
then
movie.
this stuff started happening, and we're both looking at each other and going, Why?
Oh, we did. Why? It wasn't necessary. Why did? Was it? Okay, we're just gonna have to end the video because we're just going to be like,
That's it.
for the next 10 minutes. Okay.
So, for our meteorologist react,
So,
we focus on two things. Number
things.
one, the meteorological accuracy and the entertainment value. So, in terms of meteorological accuracy overall for this, from a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not even close, and 10 being, wow, you couldn't get this any more accurate if the thing was actually real life. So,
I will
where
give
would you
this
mark this one?
A solid 8.7.
8.7.
Maybe an 8. Maybe a 9. I mean, the first half of the movie was so good.
It was so good and so accurate.
They just, I mean, they threw in so many little details and Easter eggs and real footage and this and that and the other thing, and then the ending, it was just like, does the ending ruin the accuracy of the beginning?
I would say, for me, I'd give it a 9 up to that point and then give it a 5 afterwards. So I'll give it like an average of 7 for the overall movie.
Yeah.
How about entertainment value?
It was very entertaining. I was excited to watch this one. I really liked it. I would watch it again. Not the last 20 minutes, but I would watch it again.
Even the last 20 minutes, you know, the entertainment-wise was, they kept it up there.
Yeah.
If we didn't know the details of meteorology and some of those things, it would have been, you know, it still had its entertainment value. So I'd probably rate it as an 8.
Entertainment, I would also agree. I would say it's about an 8.
Not bad. We would recommend watching it,
Definitely.
just knowing that the last 20 minutes may not be completely accurate, but entertainment-wise, if you just lay those things aside, it's a pretty good movie.
So there you have it, meteorologists react to the movie Tornado! Again, if you like what you saw, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below so you never miss another Meteorology Monday. Follow us over on our social media, popping up here, Facebook, Instagram, post all of our weather adventures there, along with our website, which is linked below.
That's right. And thank you again for those that sent us this as something to react to. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody giving us some react video, you know, suggestions and other things that we can look at. So keep them coming.
Yes, we've got a long list. We're getting to them all. We promise. We've written them all down as you guys suggest them. So maybe yours will be next. Until next time, I'm Kayla.
And I'm Jim.
Thanks for watching.
And happy.
Because sooner or later, you gotta get outside and smell the weather.